Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna have a little conversation, a little personal talk, a little one-to-one. And I'm gonna talk about why I stopped producing so many YouTube videos, why I stopped just basically recording video after video. I remember in the beginning of 2021, we used to do one per day. I don't know if you remember, we did like 40 videos in 40 days. I had 2 videographers, video editors on my team. Today is 1, and it's a little bit more balanced. But still, sometimes I have this struggle, this internal battle when it comes to creating content. And I just want to put this video out there because number one, I think that it could be relatable to some people. Maybe you're a YouTuber, maybe you're a creator, maybe you're an online business owner, or you're aspiring entrepreneur and you have this internal battle as well of putting yourself out there, creating just to create versus doing what makes you actually happy. And so one of the things in this space is, like, for example, YouTube rewards consistency. So like if you want to grow on YouTube, you want to post consistently, like maybe that's once per week. Ideally you want to have every single week the same time so that your audience knows what time you're uploading. But even if you don't have that sort of consistency, you at least post 2 times per week, 3 times per week, or even 1 time per week. Like that consistency is rewarded by YouTube, and that's totally cool and understand that. But there's a difference between putting out content because you're supposed to put out content, like Gerald Undone, for example, or Make Art Now. They've both talked about this recently. They talked about this dilemma that comes with being a creative person of some sort, a personality brand, if you will. And sort of sometimes when you put out videos, you have to step into this character. Like if I'm always like, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna talk about business and finance or money, and you're this high energy person. Sometimes when you don't feel that way, maybe you've had a bad night of sleep. Maybe you're just feeling stressed because of client work. If you're doing this on the sidelines, like a side hustle, you might be tired from work. You might not be in the mood. And the reason I'm actually feeling great today is because of a great night of sleep, like 9 hours of sleep. And usually I get 6, 7, or 8. By the way, that's just a side note. I'm realizing that that's actually the big secret, is getting a good night of sleep and taking care of your fundamentals. Your body is a temple, treat it as such, and don't get fooled by work hustle if it destroys your sleep, because that's not a long-term strategy, and you'll just not be as smart and as mentally focused and sharp as you could be. But that's a side note. So what happens when you just have to produce content for the sake of producing content? I think you fall in this pattern of like, okay, what do I have to put out now to have something that's unique, even though I may not feel like talking about that right now. And so the struggle that I've had, and we'll compare that to Gerald Undone, for an example. He talked about, by the way, if you don't know, he's a tech YouTuber, big audience, way bigger than me. And so I'm not comparing myself to him. I'm just sharing my side of the story, and maybe it can relate to somebody out there. But the way he explained it was, they have these brand deals. So with brand deals, sometimes like, bigger corporations, you have a deal for a year. You're gonna put out 2 videos per month. And so in these videos, you're gonna mention this brand. And so you need a video. Sometimes the struggle for him was, I need to create a video so that I can mention the brand, which is kind of backwards, isn't it? Versus having like, you're gonna get paid for each video, not per month, not per year, but for the videos they actually create. So that would give him more creative freedom. For me, I have more freedom because I make most of my money from my clients as a funnel agency owner. And so I have more freedom. It's just, I think because it's my long-term goal to share, to give back. And I had this, I don't know if it's a weird or a good idea, but I have this idea or this vision that everything that I put out on YouTube could help my future grandkids, as well as my kids, as well as my friends, as well as my family members, as well as my online community, as well as you. Create a business just from that content alone. Today, a year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now. So imagine my kids when they're 20, if you're watching this, what's up? It's great being your dad. all this content, all these hours that I put in and put up on YouTube, imagine if that can give people that I don't, always spend time with, right, in the future, the tools and the trainings, the tutorials to build a business that they can basically provide for themselves, for the family, and the people that they love. So that's why I think of legacy, for an example, and I want to create videos that's bigger than myself, that can be stored on the internet for the rest of forever. So with that comes this struggle of like, okay, can I just put out videos that I enjoy talking about? Like, for an example, right now, I would love to talk about funnels, business, design, crypto, NFT, metaverse, freedom in terms of policies as well. So like, I'm not big into politics, but I do very much so care about freedom. And so sometimes, especially during the last 18 months, if I see a country where there's like big tyranny or authoritarian regimes, I feel bad for those people, especially when I have entrepreneurs in certain countries where they shut down their businesses. I'm like, I feel bad for them because I feel like that's a basic human right to make a living, freedom of speech, like that sort of stuff. And so I don't talk about it here on YouTube, but I'm a very like independent person, very pro freedom in the sense like I grew up in a way where I was raised to take care of myself, which I'm so grateful for. And so I want to obviously talk about these things sometimes, but that doesn't fit into funnels. And then sometimes I want to talk about just mindset, maybe struggles, like personal life, like not how to be productive per se. Like, I'll be honest, making 6 figures per year is great, but it's not like wild. It's not, this weird magical thing. Like 10K per month, 20K per month, 30K per month. Like, it's not like this, whoa, amazing thing. It's just like, yeah, you do the thing that got you to 5K per month, 10K per month. You just continue doing it and you make more money. Like, it's not, by the way, that's another thing that I would sometimes want to talk about is like, the more you make, you feel like there's more people with their hands in your pocket. Like, the government wants half of it and stuff like that. But I can't talk about that on a funnel channel. So that's been like a small challenge as well. Even though we do have like the Freedom Seekers podcast where I can actually talk about it. So I guess that's a good thing. But for me, like talking about personal stuff and personal life and psychology, like the stuff that I'm thinking about, like as an introvert, I spend a lot of time just thinking about life, society, the youth, the future of money, decentralization, metaverse, mental health, personal responsibility, victimhood, your circle of influence, the people you hang around, living in a 9-to-5 you hate for 40 years. Like, there are certain things that I would just love making videos about for the sake of sharing my opinion. But as a business and as a channel that's focused on funnels, I don't know if that's relatable. Is that what you want to see? Let me know, by the way. I want to know if you want more videos. Because if you want more videos about these things, obviously it's gonna stay related to business, not politics or news. I want it to be a positive, like I said, an upbuilding. It's a source where you don't come to get frustrated for, news. I'm gonna fight this thing, I'm gonna fight this. It's, here's what I'm doing to build a business that makes me independent, that gives me choice, that gives me the power to choose what me and my family and my kids and me and my wife, what we do with our lives. Maybe I should have another channel. Maybe I should have a second channel that's all about freedom and everything that goes with that. Because I'm just figuring out, in business, there's certain levels to freedom and wealth. Number one is like figuring out how to get a client to pay you, right? That's a business transaction. Then once you're working a lot, you have a lot of clients, you have more money, you get into business operation. How do you manage your business? Then you get into finances. How do you manage your money? And it's a totally different game, right? Like you can, like I said, with taxes, for an example, I remember when I got my first like tax bill and it was like 30,000 or something. And I had to call the tax office and be like, hey, what is this? Like, I've been paying my taxes. What is this? And they were like, this is from like 2 years or 3 years prior, because my bookkeeper and I miscommunication. I didn't understand these things. We basically had to go back a couple of years and, you know, update the documents and the numbers, which caused more taxes for me and this huge stress. And so how do you manage that and also running a business? I could have been like, man, I suck at this. Or I could have been like, okay, I'm learning new stuff all the time. I'm growing as a person. So is that something I should talk about on YouTube? Maybe not on a funnel channel, maybe on a separate one. And so, like, by the way, if you ever go through these things, like, I thought I was alone, but then I realized like every business owner go through these levels of consciousness in their business and finances. And you start to understand the game of money, the game of society, the government, and it's very empowering if you look at it that way. So again, not being a victim and saying like, man, look what's happening to me. It's more like, what can I learn from this? What am I learning right now? What's the universe or God teaching me right now? And when you're looking at things from that perspective, you're like, okay, this is how this works. This is how business works. This is how taxes work, legal stuff, marketing, sales, operations, team management. And as you go through that, you're like, okay, this is a part of the journey. Maybe the journey. That would be a name for a show. The journey. That's what it is. The journey of life. And it's a fun one. I'm not in the game of feeling sorry for myself or being a victim. I think that's toxic. There's a YouTube channel that talks about going where you're treated best. I think those 5 words are super powerful. When you're building your business, there's this, how do you say it? This feeling that you get when you're working for years, you're working super hard, like sacrificing personal life, maybe even your health sometimes to serve your clients, to make money, to provide for your family. At some point you feel like, man, I need to take care of myself, my family, my finances, what's best for me right now, and going where you're treated best, and also doing what's best for you, you know, in your personal life, in your time management. Sometimes not answering all the calls from people who need you, but rather asking yourself, what do I need right now to survive this stress, to go through, because business is this, you know, it's like this, and hopefully it goes a little bit up all the time, but it's like, sometimes it's harder, it's more stressful, and sometimes it's, you know, easier and it's more, you have more momentum. And I think the downs are when you actually grow. So you don't want to avoid them, you want to balance things out and fight through them. And stay focused as you fight through them, because then you come out on the other side and you didn't let this destroy you, you let it grow you. So yeah, those are a couple of things that I'm thinking about right now in terms of content for this channel. I know this is a long video, different video, but maybe it's relatable for someone else as well. A couple more things that I'm doing is, for an example, I'm stopping to serve everyone and anyone who pays me. Like, I've had this filter before, but it's kind of like as I've just, because I love working, I really do. I feel fulfilled serving clients and knowing that I make a difference. But at the same time, sometimes it's easy to just say yes to this. $2,000 here, $2,500 here, $3,000 here, $1,000 here, $4,000, whatever it is. What I'm doing now is being more selective with who I'm working with. So that might be that it's not making me the most money I could, but that's okay. Like, I would rather make 10 to 20K per month with a happy wife, happy kids, happy relationships, great health. And I feel like that's where I'm headed, towards more time freedom. Because like, I've built close to 400 funnels now, and I'm working with the best clients in the world, like including ClickFunnels. And so in that sense, I'm living my dream. So why push to potentially lose, you know, some parts of my health or relationship or friends or whatever it is? Like, I want to maybe be more selective in that area as well. To, I guess this video is just to tell you that it's okay to not do what everybody else is doing and to not continue doing what you've been doing. So in business, for an example, my clients might change a little bit on this channel. We might experiment with some new content. It might be 3 videos in 1 week, or it might be one video. It might be about this funnel design tutorial that helps you get launched, but it also might be something that's helpful that I'm going through, that if you're feeling like you're behind right now, you know, if you're feeling like you're not where you want to be, because you're right now, you're doing the work that's going to pay off 6 months from now and you don't see it yet. But then you see someone else who's done it for 2 years. You didn't know they were doing it, but you're seeing their fruits of the labor. You feel like you're behind. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I think for me, the foundations, the fundamentals are going to be what's driving the growth for Q4 2022. I think for you as well, especially these two things. I would say 3, 4. Okay. People around you, negative people who are super toxic, they have to go. They have to go. If they don't support you long term for the vision that you have for your life, it's like an anchor. You have this vehicle, this boat, and you want to go somewhere to this location, and you know it's going to be good. It might be a little bit windy, it might be a little bit tough on the way there, but it's going to be amazing once you get there. And you have this anchor, people who are keeping you down. They're slowing you down. They're destroying your happiness, your mood. Then outside of that, you have your sleep schedule. I just know anxiety levels, for an example. If I look at too many news or what's happening with this or this, I get anxiety, especially if I haven't slept like 7 or 8, hours of sleep. And the best is probably like around 9 hours of great sleep. On top of that, we have working out. So can you sweat a little bit every day? Like this 15-minute rule that I have is, if I don't feel like it, at least I'll go for a 15-minute walk or a run, or even a gym session for 15 minutes. And usually I feel a little bit better. I can stay longer, but if not, at least I break a sweat. I take a shower and I have more endorphins. I feel better after just doing that quick exercise. And so, the boring stuff, eating good, sleeping good, saying no to everything that doesn't serve you and the people around you. And I'll leave you with this. And I'm not here to get biblical on you, but I thought of it about this morning, about how serving God is really serving other people. A lot of times we think of God as like some magical thing, and it's really about serving people around you and being the best that you can be. Well, I would say being the best that you can be for them, but that means being the best version of yourself so you can help other people. I'm sure you heard the analogy in an airplane. If you're about to have some turbulence or not crash but land somewhere, they tell you to put your mask on first to get extra air, whatever it's called, oxygen, sorry. And then after you put it on yourself, you can put it on your kids so that you can also help them. And that is the same as in business, as in personal life. It's like, first you focus on you, making sure that you're okay, that you're taken care of, that you're healthy, that you're positive. Because with the right mindset, in the right state of mind, I think you can do 10 times more good in this world. Just like money is a great tool. If you have more money, you have less stress, you can help more people, you have more tools, you have more resources. Like these are the things that I would love to talk about sometimes, but maybe we'll do on the Freedom Seekers podcast. I can link it below in the description. For those of you who don't know, that's me and a couple of my friends, and actually my younger brother. We talk about stuff that is happening in the world. And so, yeah, maybe I'll keep the content over there and then just keep this to business. And so if you want to follow us there, that's probably more relatable in terms of personal life, that sort of stuff. Sometimes we just have fun, we joke about stuff as well. And then this channel we can keep around business. Yeah? Let me know what you think, because I'm curious, like, what are some content you want to hear more about? And if you've watched this far and you stayed around to the end of this video, appreciate you. I truly do. Feel like we're building a community here, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna definitely continue uploading. I think the key, just like in anything, when I found my business ideas, if you will, it was by experimenting and trying different things. Like first I did MLM, multi-level marketing, and I believed in the product, had some success. Then I felt like, man, we should do this online. They didn't want to do it online, so I was like, let me try something else. And I saw business moving online, and I went online, and I sold marketing services to them. So as long as you're not afraid to try things and optimize and change from there, I think you'll be good. So that's it for the video. See you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out.